out!
Move them out!
We want to know what's bothering you in the world of sports. Give Murph a call at 312-644-6767. That's 312-644-6767. And tell him what's beefing you in the world of sports. What's Your Beef is brought to you by Brown's Chicken Sandwiches and Catering.
You know what Murph says? Lunchtime, look at your watch. You're in the car, look at the dashboard, 12:22, and you haven't had lunch yet? Browns. You know it tastes better. Browns. You know it ain't just chicken anymore. Browns, beefs, and lunch. What's your beef? You won't have a beef at Browns. Let me just tell you something. The Italian beefs are the best you've ever had, thinly sliced. You can have it wet. You can have it dipped. You can have it dry. As I always say, you've lived in Chicago all your life, and you've never had a real Italian beef sandwich. Dad talked about them. Grandpa talked about them. Browns does them the way you learned growing up in Chicago. Also Italian sausage. Put them together, call them a combo. Frank Portillo's favorite, the president over at Browns. Murph, I like the Maxwell Street Polish. Can't even find Maxwell Street anymore. Go to Browns. It tastes better. It ain't just chicken anymore. All right. They're telling me to go to a Homer, Glenn, Tim, and Al on the southwest side first. Hello, Al.
Murphy,
Hey, Al, what's your beef?
my Cubs, I've been a Cub fan since 1945. I'm getting tired of waiting. I'm going to die and I won't see a World Series.
The last guy that could lay a bunt down was Glenn Beckert.
Okay, Murphy,
Yes, Al.
why do we have
Yes.
a veteran, D. Lee, at second base?
Mm-hmm.
You drove in a run. Your power hitter's coming up. Your
What?
third baseman,
One out.
right?
One
and
out.
then you try to steal third base, and we could have won that ball game 5-4 in 9 innings.
Well, you didn't know he was going to hit a home run, though, if you're D. Lee. Now,
Murphy, well, what the hell are you trying to steal for? You could have scored on a single or a double yourself.
I guess Uncle Lou Piniella thought that Ram couldn't hit the ball over the wall. It was going to be a fly ball sack fly. Unfortunately for the Cubs, D. Lee was safe on the replays, but don't give the umpire a chance to call you out. It was ill-conceived, and if it was Lou that put it on, I'm surprised, because opening day at Wrigley Field, Lou Piniella had Derek Lee Steele second with 2 out, and Ram at the plate, and he was out to end the inning. I thought Lou would have learned by then. Thank you, Al. Now they say get to Tim and Homer Glenn. Hello, Tim. It's Murph.
Hey, Murph, good afternoon.
Hey, what? You got a Browns in Homer Glenn. I know that for a fact. I was out there lunch with Murph many years ago.
I think we have the best Browns in the country out there in Homer Glen.
No,
Yes,
they're all great. They're all great. Hey, Tim, what's your beef?
I tell you what, I'm partial to the south side, but my parents grew up on the north side, and they were big white Cubs fans up there. And ever since I've been a little kid, I've been watching that baseball bounce into that so-called basket. I prefer to call it an obstruction out there.
The basket, right. We all know the basket. What's your beef, though, Timmy?
Well, any other ballpark in the country, that's a ground rule double if it goes off the wall. That ball was a slam dunk straight down into the basket.
What do you mean, a ground rule double if a ball hits the wall? It's alive. You misspoke there. What do you mean?
Well, if a fan reaches out to catch the ball,
okay.
is that a ground rule double?
Well, if the fan makes contact, yeah. The thing about the and Tim, great to visit with you over there at Homer Glen, buddy. Appreciate it. The thing about the basket, and I know a little bit about it, the basket was put in to prevent fans from actually streaking naked across the field. They put the basket up in 1970. There was a thing around the United States, it might sound crazy right now, called streaking, where college students and you see people just take their clothes off and run around. Well, it started at the first homestand in 1970. Fully Croisand, I say fully Croisand bleacher fans jumped out of the bleachers when there was no basket yet and streaked, ran naked around the field after the game. So they put the basket up there to prevent easy access from those drunken bleacherites out there. Now, what's become a benefit of the basket is that you will never, ever see a questionable fan interference. Now, I know last year there were 4 different balls that the umpires screwed up that actually cleared the basket and ricocheted off the pyramid on top of the wall, which is there to prevent drunken, fully Croisand bleacher bums with bugles from walking on the wall. But the basket, I think, in the long run serves a good purpose. It basically eliminates umpires' judgment on fan interference. The play last night, the home run off Rocky Cherry, would have, as our caller Tim said, would have grazed the wall and been in play. But you know what? I believe the basket's there for the Cubs hitters also. Maybe John Dewan. That'd be a great one for John. Have Cubs hitters had more home runs in the basket, or opponents had more balls land in the basket? I have a feeling more opponents' balls have landed in the basket. Let's take a break. Sports beefs, your beefs from Browns. Beefs, Browns, lunch, beefs, Browns. What makes more sense? Here's what I would do on the way home at 4 o'clock. Hey, honey, don't have to cook dinner tonight. I'm bringing home some beefs, some Italian sausage, some combos, some Maxwell Street Polish. Got all the side fixins, the mushrooms, the beans. We got the coleslaw. Bring home some of that Brown's chicken. Honey, you're not cooking tonight because Brown's taste better. Sports Radio 670. Murphapalooza. Fans talking to fans. Back in a flash. I'm driven to you by Chevy. DriveChicago.com. Drive your Chevy to Browns. Let's get back to What's Your Beef. By the way, this hour, the score is brought to you by Encompass Business Solutions. Save 50% on business electrical bills. 866-95-SAY-NO. Everyone's beefing today. Then they're heading to Browns. Bob is on the south side. Hey, Bob.
Yeah, I'm on the north side, Murph.
Oh, I'm sorry, Roberto. I moved you about 70 blocks. My bad, as the kids say. Bob, what's your beef on the north side? Yeah.
One thing I want to just say to you is I love your show because you're always a gentleman. You always treat the callers with dignity. You never ridicule us for that, and I love that.
No, thank you.
Now,
I try.
Here's my beef.
Yes, sir.
My beef is I'm an old-timer that is sick and tired of this thing called the pitch count. John Garland got burnt by the pitch count the other night. Last night, the Kansas City Royals pitcher was on a roll, and they yanked him because of the pitch count.
112 for Gil Mesh, right.
Yeah, but I'll tell you, when a pitcher's pitching like that, he's got something extra that night, and they need to let him finish it up and walk away with that complete game. I mean, a complete game to me is almost close to a no-hitter.
Bob, you know what? I agree with you, but you know the problem is there's money involved, and guys and the minor league directors are fearful that they're going to ruin the arm. Well, wait a minute. Wooden Pryor, their arms were already shot when they got here. Bob, it's all about the money, and they're going to have to figure out a way. I see Pettit came in and pitched for the Yankees on his throw day Sunday night on a couple of days' rest. They're going to have to figure out a way to better utilize these starting pitchers other than 100 pitches every 5 days. Bob, I got to take a few more calls. Good beef, buddy. Thank you very much. There's my guy, Ponytail, a truck phone. Pony!
Oh, hey, Murph, how we doing?
Good. What's your beef, Tail?
Well, my beef is with fans who don't know what they're cheering or booing for.
You're talking about the fans throwing garbage on the field when the umpire made the correct call at second base when Cedeno overslid, I bet.
No, actually not.
All right.
That fits right in. That'll go right along.
All right.
Tack it onto the list.
Okay.
But I was at the Cub game last night, and there were two instances which made me, as a real honest-to-God Cub fan who knows the game, at least I think I know the game, it made me livid. First off, after 5 1/3 innings, Carlos Zambrano gets yanked out of the game after throwing 110 pitches or whatever, walking 4 batters, okay, and having 2 guys on after allowing 2 runs.
Blowing a 4-run lead against a first-place division team.
As he's coming off of the mound, and he gets pulled from the game, the fans in the stadium stand up and applaud the man.
I saw it.
He just threw 8 shutout innings.
It was incomprehensible. It was reprehensible. It was embarrassing to be a fan of the Cubs when you saw that last night. Ponytail, you're a winner. Head on over to Browns. Joe Ostrowski, hook up my guy Ponytail. Send him to Browns. You know it tastes better, the lunches. Ponytail's, you gotta say, go down and get some beef, some Italian sausage, maybe some of Murph's Maxwell Street Polish. Oh, man, and the chicken tastes better. Let's bring up Bloomington, Illinois. Riles is on the score. Hey, Riles.
Hi, Murph. I've got the same beef every year with Major League Baseball.
All right.
It really makes me mad when I can't look at a great player like Alex Rodriguez and wonder what the heck is going on. I have a beef with Major League Baseball for not implementing random blood testing to see if any of these guys are doing HGH, because you know darn well they are.
Well, Riles, I appreciate your call. I know the experts, at least what I read, it's either undetectable or hard to detect, and the union and Bud Selig still have not, in my opinion, done anywhere near the job they should do. By the way, I have not one, 2 pair of Sox tickets between now and 2 p.m. Sox fans, stay by the radio. Hopefully I'll have your name on them. It's the Sox and the Angels, LA Angels in town, Saturday, April 28th. And a couple more beefers here. I hope everyone stops by Brown's today for lunch. You don't have to win a trip from Murph. You can just go on your own because it tastes better. Peter's downtown. Hey, Peter.
Hey, Murph, what's up?
What's up? What's your beef?
Here's my beef, Murph. A-Rod, coverage, media. Can I not get enough of it? Yes, I can, Murph. I see this guy hitting homers, so he's getting paid pretty good money for it, too, by the way. Hey, didn't a guy named Albert Pujols last year do the same thing, but is he from the Midwest? He puts east of the Hudson River in the papers and on the news, my friend.
I love it, Peter. You're going to Browns. The only time I want to see that much A-Rod, I want to see A-Rod when he's with the Sox or with the Cubs next year. Then I want to see the coverage. Hang on, okay, Pete? You're going to Browns. Everyone's going to Browns. 50 locations. BrownsChicken.com. Check it out right now. You're at work. Look at BrownsChicken.com. You'll hop in the car and go get something to eat. You won't believe it. It's the Score. On the home stretch of What's Your Beef, 1 o'clock, just around the corner. That's going to be open phones with Fan Talk, fans talking to fans, finding a little more about the Sox. What a game last night. We'll cover the victorious White Sox and the Cubs ace blowing a 4-run lead. But let's get to the phone lines. The beef lines are fired up today for Browns. Mike is in McHenry. Hey, Mike.
Murph, how you doing, sir?
Fine, buddy. What's your beef?
My beef, Murph, is with this Cub management. So when are we going to get a starting lineup that's going to play every day and can come to the park knowing what position they're going to be in, know what lineup they're going to be in?
Well, let me ask you this, Mike. Let me ask you this. That's a great beef. Would you say right now the fault is on Piniella or the fault is on the 25-man roster that Hendry gave Piniella?
I believe it's on the lineup that he has. But Lou has got to get some stones and start playing the guys that are hitting, start playing the guys that can make a difference and win every day.
I think Lou's got the stones, but the time is wasting very quickly, and he's been handed a 25-man roster that they better figure out real quick who starts and who doesn't. Mike, nicely done. You're going to go to Browns up in McHenry. Hang on, Michael.
Thank you, sir.
Nicely done. And let's see, Bill is a car phone is on the Score. Bill, what's your beef?
My beef is with the umpires yesterday.
Yes.
The umpires are supposed to be invisible, and they showed up big time yesterday. I think the tape should be sent to the MLB office for a review. Because they blew the call on Derek Lee at third base. They blew the call, the first base umpire blew the call on Soriano when he got hit. Because he turned his body. It wasn't the bat that went across the plate.
That one can go either way, but
right.
But continue.
But then the home plate umpire rung up Ramirez twice, once on an outside pitch, once on an inside pitch. So the next pitch, he doesn't know what to swing at. And you could see the last time he was called out or swung and missed, he wanted to say something to the umpire.
But they were out of players. See, you got to tip your hat to Ramirez on that one. Right or wrong with the umpire, he knew. See, the old Ramirez would have flared, and then they would have had Jason Marquis playing, right field.
Right,
So,
and then DeRosa, too, on the last pitch.
You know what? The first two pitches DeRosa should have hammered.
Right.
And you know what? They always say the umpires, it evens up. I'll just say this. If an umpire is going to give 3, 4, 5 inches on each side of the plate, then you know what? You'll have a no-hitter out there every night. Thank you.
Thank
Bill.
Happen to the other teams, too.
Well, it's supposed to go both ways. Bill, thank you, buddy.
Okay.
And our final beefer is Frank in Lombard. Hello, Frank.
Murph, it's always a pleasure, pal.
What's your beef?
My beef is that Bud Selig doesn't have a backbone. You know, the NFL has a dress code that if the players wear their socks the wrong way, they get fined up to $5,000. I am tired of looking at professional baseball players that have their pants down to their ankles and they have no pins, they have no stirrup socks. What is this, Murph?
You know what, Frank, you're exactly right. I don't care if everyone's got the pants up or everyone's got the pants down. Let's have uniformity. It's in the rule book, and there's about a dozen other things that he allows. The batter in the index circle not being in the index circle. You're supposed to have clean batting helmets. They all got tar on their helmets. It's unbelievable up and down. You're only supposed to have 6 bench coaches. I see the Cubs even with number 7 out there. Ivan De Jesus was suited up. They break the rules, and then they wonder why these players are not afraid to cork, not afraid to use steroids, not afraid to do other illegal moves, because they know the little things, they look the other way also. I love it. Hey, Frank and Lombard, there's the Browns on Ogden Avenue. You're going. Oh, hang on, Frank.
Mark, you're the best.
Ah, Frank, you're the best.
Thanks for participating in What's Your Beef. Join Murph for another edition of What's Your Beef. What's Your Beef has been brought to you by Brown's Chicken Sandwiches and Catering. All winners of the Mike Murphy Show are only eligible to win prizes once in a 60-day period.